boys are coming.
The way I used to play got me in trouble. Now I'm the one giving out 5 minutes in the box.
As Vermette comes in. Score! And the Coyotes have won it!
Antoine Vermette, in a word, is upbeat. And why wouldn't he be? He's a darn good hockey player, skilled at faceoffs and the power play. A Dave Tippett type of guy who does it in both ends of the ice. And yes, he can light the lamp in a bunch of ways as well. 24 goals last year that led this Coyotes team. Plus, he's got that cool French accent that the ladies just love.
It says right here, your hometown,
Yeah.
you're known as the pride
of...
How do you pronounce that?
Saint-Agapi.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like it.
It's close to Quebec City, but it's a small town, and my mom always said when I was a kid, remember where you're coming from, so that's my hometown.
The summer you turned 13. I can't imagine growing up in Edmonton, losing my Edmonton Oilers when I was a kid, but you lost your Nordiques to Colorado. What was that experience like for you as a kid?
That was a big deal. I mean, they had so much a history of trying to get a winning team on the ice. They were drafting some young kids like Sakic and Nolan. They were coming up and they were getting really good, and it was exciting finally to see them and growing as a team, and you felt like they were right there. But believe it or not, when I was younger, my first team was Montreal. My dad was a big Habs fan,
Wow.
and he grew up watching Béliveau, and like that was his.
You like Stanley Cups, I don't blame you.
Yeah, there was an easy pick. Obviously, Quebec were having trouble to win early on, but it was tough when we, as a hockey fan, seeing Doe leaving like this. And like I said, the next year, actually, they won the cup in Colorado, so that was a little stinger for the fans back there.
You're another overachiever, much like a lot of us hockey players with your wife, but you married your childhood sweetheart.
Yeah.
How did that come to be? Who pursued who? How did that all happen?
Originally, I was the guy looking at her. We were really young, and finally, when I got her to say yes, I don't know, it lasted maybe a week. After a week or two, it was usually I sat down with my buddies on the bus, and suddenly, like, you gotta sit down with that girl, like. And I wasn't big on the holding hands and that kind of stuff.
Public affection, that's a fine, isn't it?
At that age, it was a little, it was too much. So I wanted to play with my buddies and play hockey. So I said, you know what, not quite yet. Yeah. And then a few years passed, and then she was interesting in me, and we were hanging out together since we had friends in common. So we grew up as friends, and then it turns out to be a little more serious. Yeah. And since that day, I don't know. I don't know what she sees in me, but I'll take it.
I was going to say, she can see 20/20 vision for sure, right?
No. The rebound, they score!
At the age of 32, you kind of is a little bit older, and considering all these young kids. But Shane Doan is the old grandpa on the team. Does that make you feel young, or I mean?
Yeah, but you say the number, and it's always like caught me off guard. Like I don't feel like that at all. Yeah. I remember being young, and you're coming in the league. You're really respectful. You're looking and watching guys, and you're okay. This guy is like 27. Back in your mind, you don't say it, but you're like, okay, like he's way ahead of me. Like he's old, Like,
Donor, you're referring to?
But like now, like Donor, he's very, very old.
He is old. Yeah. He squeaks when he walks too, eh? Yeah. How about Ottawa? You guys lost in the finals. What was harder for you? I know you played such an important role when this team went to the Western Conference Finals. That had to have been tough. What was harder though, losing in the Stanley Cup Finals as a young player, or losing in the Western Conference Finals as an older?
That's a great question. I've never really compared.
Yeah,
this is tough. Yeah, great question. Great question. It's tough, both of them. But the fact you said, like, you're young, you're aware, like, it's tough to win. So you finally made it there, and it's a tough goal to get there, and it's disappointing to see. Just you can sense it, but you can't touch it, right? But here it was like such a great journey, so good memories, more experience, more understanding of the fact that it's tougher. You see as your career goes on, and you don't have like tons of opportunity to get there. So it's tough. I couldn't pick one or the other. It's always tough to not get there when you think you could do it.
All your experience, if you could sit with a bunch of kids, young hockey players in a locker room, what would be the best advice you could give them?
Best advice: have fun. This is a great sports.
Yeah.
You can learn great values that you can translate not only in your professional career. Very few would probably be sitting here with you in 15, 20 years from now talking about that. But I think the sport in general, if you work hard, have fun, enjoying with it, translate in different areas of your life, and that's really what you have to take out of it.